All right, let's get into it. We're going to be talking about something that's, a huge question in education. How do you actually prove that what someone learns in a classroom can be used in the real world? We're going to look at North Carolina's pretty cool answer to that exact problem. I mean, really think about this for a second. It's one thing to get an A on a test about welding theory, right? But it's a totally different ballgame to actually lay down a perfect weld. So, how do you measure that? How do you verify a hands-on skill? That's the puzzle we're piecing together today. And the setting for all of this is the world of career and technical education, or what everyone calls CTE. You can think of CTE as all those classes where you're not just reading about a job, you're actually doing it. Whether it's coding, nursing, agriculture, you name it. It's all about getting your hands dirty, figuratively and sometimes literally. So here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll hit the why, like why does any of this matter? Then we'll get into the system itself, the proof of learning. After that, the main event, the 4 different ways students can prove what they know. We'll also meet the team that keeps this whole thing running smoothly. And we'll wrap up with what this all means for the students themselves. Okay, so first things first. Why all the paperwork? I know it can seem like just another layer of testing, but I promise there's a really important reason this whole system exists. And that reason really comes down to a federal law called the Perkins v. Act. Now, this law is great. It sends a ton of money to states to fund these incredible hands-on CTE programs. But there's a catch. To keep the money coming, states have to show their work. They have to prove that students are walking out the door with skills that actually matter. It's simple. No proof, no funding. And listen, we are not talking about a little bit of cash here. North Carolina gets over $70 million every single year from this act. That money buys the welding machines, the computer software, the medical dummies, everything that makes these programs work. So yeah, the stakes are pretty high. So because of that need to show results, North Carolina built a system from the ground up. Let's dive into what this proof of learning thing actually is. At its core, it's pretty straightforward. A proof of learning, or POL for short, is the official yardstick. It's not just a gut feeling that a student learned something, it's a specific, defined way to measure if they've truly mastered the skills for that particular course. Now we get to the really fascinating part. How does it work in practice? Well, the state knew that you can't test a future chef the same way you test a future coder. It just wouldn't make sense. So, they built 4 unique paths for students to show what they can do. The whole thing is built around these 4 options. You've got credentials, local polls, performance-based measurements, we'll call them PBMs, and the CTE state assessments. Each one serves a different purpose, so let's walk through them one by one. First up is credentials. This is maybe the most powerful path because it connects directly to a job. A credential isn't some test the school made up. It's an official certification from a real industry group. So for an IT student, getting a CompTIA certification is a huge deal. It's something they can slap on a resume that an employer instantly gets. And what makes these credentials so special is that they come from the outside world, not from inside the school. That gives them instant street cred with employers. Plus, they're often tiered, so they signal exactly how skilled a student is. It's basically a direct bridge from the classroom to a paycheck. Path number 2 gives the power back to the local communities. It's the local POL. This means a school district can create its own assessment, maybe a big final project or a unique test, as long as it lines up with the state's standards. This is awesome because it lets them tailor things to the jobs and industries right there in their own backyard. Okay, path number 3 is the performance-based measurement, or PBM. This is where that learning by doing motto really comes to life. A PBM isn't about multiple choice. It's about actually creating something. For instance, instead of a test on marketing terms, a student might have to build a complete marketing campaign from the ground up. And that brings us to our 4th and final path, the CTE state assessment. Now, this one is going to sound the most familiar. It's a classic, standardized end-of-course exam. The goal here is to get a consistent measurement of knowledge across every single school in North Carolina. So, yeah, picture a typical final exam, 100 multiple-choice questions taken in the last week or 2 of class. The keyword here is uniformity. It gives the state a clean set of data to see how things are going everywhere. And those results can also be one piece of the puzzle when looking at how effective a program is. And this comparison just lays it out perfectly. A PBM is all about applying your skills, about doing. The state assessment is about demonstrating your knowledge, about knowing. Both are super important, but they're measuring two very different and equally valuable things. Okay, so we've got these four paths, but who is making sure all of this runs like a well-oiled machine? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the people and the rules that make this whole system fair and trustworthy. A system this big has to have a clear chain of command. It starts at the top, with the state's Department of Public Instruction setting the rules of the road. Then you have a CTE administrator in each district making it work locally. Inside each school, a coordinator handles the logistics, so the teacher in the classroom can focus on teaching and giving the assessments the right way. And this isn't just a bureaucratic process, it's guided by a really strong code of ethics. I mean, check out this principle. It's not just about giving tests, it's about making sure everyone, students and parents, understands the why behind them. That kind of transparency is huge. And of course, there are ironclad rules on everything from keeping the tests secure to protecting student privacy under the federal FERPA law. Plus, there are clear rules for making sure students with disabilities get the accommodations they need. It's all designed to make sure the playing field is level for absolutely everyone. So, we've covered the why, the what, the how, and the who. Now let's get to the real heart of it all. What does this whole complicated system actually mean for a student? Here's the bottom line. This whole proof of learning thing, it gives students something real. It proves their skills in a language that colleges and employers actually understand. It's a guarantee that their program is top-notch because it's meeting a high standard. And at the end of the day, it's a clear signal that they are ready to start a career. And that just leaves us with one big question to think about. We've just seen a system that mixes industry certifications, hands-on projects, and traditional tests. Is this balanced approach, one that values both what you know and what you can do, the future of how we measure learning, not just in CTE, but everywhere? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.